Hey guys, it's Kyo here from Fire and Steel, and I'm so excited to talk about Zoro's sword, the Wado Ichimonji, with you today. With the release of the live-action One Piece, I experienced so many more people who got into the One Piece series, including taking on the trek to watch 1,000+ episodes of the anime. The characters are so captivating, and Oda does an amazing job capturing their stories, including very detailed backstories. One character I wanted to explore more about was Zoro, more specifically his first sword, the Wado Ichimonji, and I knew just the person I wanted to ask. Andrew from Fire and Steel is an anime expert, and I knew he was just the person to tell you guys about the Wado Ichimonji and delve a little deeper into Zoro's backstory. So I'll let Andrew take us all the way back to the start of Zoro's story, and hopefully you'll hear me asking a couple of questions behind the camera.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Andrew of Fire and Steel, and today I wanted to talk to you about some of Zoro's swords. Now, right now we're going to start with his first sword, Wado Ichimonji, which is probably his most important sword to him, at the very least. He's very attached to it for reasons I shall now state. To talk about Wado Ichimonji, we basically actually need to start at the beginning of One Piece's story, well, early One Piece, where we see Zoro in his childhood. Now, there's not too much that we learn from Zoro's childhood in the anime and manga right now. There are many, parts about his former lineage that are up in the air. Many theories, but would be a video for another day. So to explain Wado Ichimonji and its impact on Zoro's life, it begins with Zoro being lost in the woods as a young delinquent when he finds his way into the Ishin dojo, where he challenges the dojo's master.
I wanna come out! I'm here to challenge your dojo! Send someone out here! I'm ready to fight!
In his challenge, he takes 3 shinais in each hand and 3 in his mouth, and is challenged to fight the dojo's master's daughter, Kuina, who swiftly defeats him. And after losing, he becomes a student of the dojo. As time goes on with his training in the dojo, he constantly beats everyone except for his rival, Kuina. Unfortunately, that is at the beginning of the series, so until I go back to the beginning again, it is unfortunately not the freshest in my mind. But from what it is implied, I guess it technically isn't really shown. It never shows her falling down the stairs. You basically see the aftermath of it, because Oda tends to keep things vague like that unless he wants to pull it out of his pocket for a big surprise moment. But basically it is implied that Kuina falls down some stairs trying to reach something for some reason, and it basically ends her life, unfortunately. Even more heartbreaking is the night prior. Kuina and Zoro had a very heartwarming talk under the moonlight and the stars, where they shared their grievances about how Kuina sees that Zoro gets stronger each time they fight, but she's stuck at the same place that she is, despite being as high as it is. But she can see that one day Zoro will overtake her, and Zoro basically takes that poorly and gets mad because he wants to beat her and be proven to be the greatest swordsman. So then they make a pact that at the very end of all their training and journeys, they will have a duel to see who truly is the strongest with a sword.
俺に勝っといてそんな泣き言言うなよ卑怯じゃねえかお前は俺の目標なんだぞゾロ約束しろよいつか必ず俺かお前が世界一の剣豪になるんだどっちがなれるか競争するんだ
After basically after her funeral or burial kind of stuff, you see Zoro bowing his head towards Kuina's father, who's the dojo master, and holding Wado Ichimonji, which Kuina always used. And basically Zoro begs to have the sword because he made a promise that he intends to keep. And seeing as how Kuina is now in the heavens, he has no choice but to become the greatest swordsman ever. So then when he passes on, he can have that duel with her in the heavens later on. In my opinion, Wado Ichimonji is definitely, it's Zoro's most important sword, where he has the most sentimental attachment to it. Should I explain why I look different? So our mic, I was moving around too much, I guess, and a lot of the audio from the things I said in the later half of this video got kind of choppy and staticky. So that is why I now have a beard. Wado is one of the 21 great grade swords in the world of One Piece, meaning it's very, very well made. It was made by Shimotsuki Kozaburo, one of Kuena's and her father's distant ancestors, who clearly forged Wado. When he was roaming East Blue as a pirate hunter to make ends meet, he would constantly destroy two of his swords that he would always carry with him, but Wado, being one of the 21 great grade swords, would always survive his harsh treatment, because back in those early days, Zoro was very physical with his swords, less finesse and like swordsman-like, and more brute force and strength. The next part, which is very important in the history of Wado Ichimonji with Zoro, is when he's on the Baratie, right before they recruit Sanji into the crew, where Mihawk is just floating by. He's in One Piece world, he is currently the #1 swordsman of all of the Grand Line. I was just thinking, oh, does the planet Earth have a name in One Piece? I couldn't remember. I wanted to say East Blue, but he's the greatest swordsman in all of One Piece's land, or territories, or whatever. Once they met, Mihawk didn't take him seriously. He basically destroyed both of his swords with one attack. He started with the tiny sword, whooped Zoro's butt, and then Zoro's like, no, you gotta take me seriously. And then he sees that he lost, and he wants to be attacked by a real attack. And like take that damage for real for losing, and not have his pride like damaged even further than losing to the greatest swordsman. So he puts out his arms and his chest out. He doesn't want an attack on his back, and he gets a full frontal attack by Mihawk, who then acknowledges him and asks for his actual name. And the only sword that survives his encounter with Mihawk was Wado Ichimonji. Both swords that he had in his hands were destroyed, and from that point on, he basically borrowed two of his pirate hunter friends' swords later on in Arlong Park, and then after that, he'll find his new swords. But we'll save that for another day, because I really enjoy making these kinds of videos. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's always fun for me to just randomly talk about One Piece things unrelated to swords, or even just the swords in general and Zoro in general. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like this content. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.